Hey guys, Ralph Havens here, and about to go for my run Sunday morning. But I really wanted to get this to you before I headed out because something big is happening today, and I want to tell you about it. And also, I have a big announcement that I think you might be interested in. So, years ago, I was thinking as I was doing my qigong this morning, my matrix energetics, my instant miracle technique, all the peace process stuff I do, everything I do, I have a ritual in the morning. And I was doing it this morning because at 12 noon today, well, because I do it every day, but at 12 noon today, we're doing our group session, our Miracles, Magic, Healing, and More group session. And you can actually get it for free with a link below, but I'll tell you about that in a second. But what I realized was, what came to me was a few things. One was years and years ago, before Ben was born, but it was when Jen was pregnant, and there was some information that I missed. I totally missed it, and I had a woman. She was in her 70s, maybe close to 80, who was my client, but she was filling in for us as my front office person because we had been through a really funny time and had to let go of some people. Some people had stolen money from us, and just a bunch of drama. But this wonderful woman who lived across the street was working for us, and she was very much against fluoridated water. San Diego was trying to put fluoride in the water for the first time, and she was against it and doing all these petitions and rallies and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's not a good idea. That's great. I'm glad you're doing that. And then this other woman, Patty, who was the editor of a little newspaper in our area, she was also very much against it. And so I brought her in to do matrix energetics and do a session for Patty and for Jean, my front office person, to stop the fluoridation. And it didn't go through. It was December of 2010, and it didn't go through. Supposed to be a vote in San Diego. That was the rule, the law. But then in February, the city council just put it through against the law, and it went into effect. And I didn't think much of it. I thought, well, that's not good for you. But I thought, no big deal. You know, we're healthy. We're matrix energetics people. We can just, as we think, so is it, and nothing can really hurt us. And then by May, actually May 12th, my birthday, I had a pain in my leg. It was in the middle of a long run. I was getting ready for an ultra marathon in Vancouver, Canada, and we were still living in San Diego, but a terrible pain. And bottom line, it was the beginning of 2 years of being unable to run and trying to figure out stuff and trying to figure out why I was getting such severe bone pain, and then depression. And all these practitioners were saying, you better make sure you don't have cancer, and all sorts of terrible, terrible stuff. And Ben was born, and I had totally missed that it was the fluoride that had been put in the water. I missed it, and I missed it for about a year and a half until I luckily, thank God, I found it. And then thank God I found the remedy and got over it, and it got us out of San Diego because the research was really clear that, and now it's come to light, and there's an actual lawsuit that's happening right now, and we should be getting fluoride out of all the water in the United States very, very soon, because they found that it lowers the IQ in children when the mother is pregnant and drinking fluoridated water, you know? And I had stopped getting spring water at the house and the office because we got these machines that micro-clustered the water and made it supposedly healthier, but the source of the water was San Diego City water, which had fluoride, and basically we were putting a lot of fluoride in our body while Jen was pregnant. And that's a regret that I have, because then there was some stuff that showed up during the pregnancy, and I was like, wow, I missed that. I totally missed it. Big regret. And then Ben was born, and he had this condition that the midwives had never seen. And then we went to the pediatrician, and she had never seen it, and she sent us directly into the ICU, the NICU, neonatal NICU. And the doctor, an amazing doctor, said, well, he looks very healthy, but I've never seen this. And I'm like, at Children's Hospital, and you've never seen this? So they said, let's just wait for a while and we'll see if it goes away. And about 2 days into it or so, he was still doing this funny coughing and gagging thing. And they were concerned, like, does he have a hole in his trachea or his esophagus, or is there something that we don't know? So they were running all these tests and waiting to see if it just went away. And then about 2 or 3 days into it, a different doctor showed up that I had never met. So we were used to this one doctor, we liked him a lot, but this other doctor showed up, and immediately I didn't like him. You just have a feeling sometimes, right? But I was scared out of my mind. There was my little baby Ben, and a couple of days old with this gaggy thing, and in the NICU, and he said, your boy's going to be fine. We just have to put him on antibiotics. And they had been running tests to see if he is growing any kind of cultures, if he had an infection, because that was the big concern, because all the other stuff looked good. He didn't have any holes anywhere that he shouldn't have holes, and he looked good, but he still had this gaggy thing. And so this doctor said that, and I remember there was a nurse that we trusted, and we had been, we'd been with all the nurses that had been cycling through for 2 days. And I told the nurse, "Did you hear that? He's going to be fine." And she turned away and didn't look at me. And something struck me like, that's odd. But I was like, no big deal. So I drove home to get some food, and I was all excited that Ben was going to be fine. And I missed something. Now, he is fine, but they put him on a course of antibiotics. I think it was over a week. And that was a big turmoil. And to put a little guy on antibiotics in the first week of life, that's not good. That's not good. Even if you believe in medical stuff, that's not good. And he made it through, but who knows what some of the stuff he had to go through since then, because his immune system all of a sudden got rid of all the bugs in his gut, and he had to start over. So there's another regret. And so what I have, if I would have known then what I know now, I could have done something different. And that's what I want to tell you about, because there's something that 17 years ago, my Qigong master told me to do, and I missed it completely, even though every time I saw him, he told me to do it. And the thing that I use now, I think the reason people don't do it is because it's so simple. And our mind wants to make it complicated and wants to understand it and wants to figure it out and wants to think that we're like healers, or that we have science behind us, or that we have to do something really dramatic or big or scientific. And we miss something that's very simple. And what I found over the last few years is it's in every single spiritual tradition, every single one. And it's so easy to miss. And so as I've been doing this the last few years, when I first started doing it, it increased our abundance immediately. So much that Jen was like, "What are you doing, babe?" I thought she said, "What are you doing, man?" But she says, "I don't say man, I said babe." And I was like, okay. But and I said, "I'm doing this thing." And so it's just like a meditation almost, but it's not much. It's just this weird little thing. And so I started showing it to my clients, and I started seeing really big changes in stuff that had been there for a long time, some physical and some non-physical, and abundance stuff. And what I found is the clients, my one-on-one clients and my group clients that do this thing and actually get past the mind that tries to take you away from it, and actually starts to use it and do it and make it what they do and what they are, some big, big changes happen. And so we're going to use it. We've been using it every month in our Miracles, Magic, Healing, and More session. And you can have that session for free this month. It's happening at 12 noon Pacific time today. And you'll get the replay. So even if you can't watch it right at noon, you can get the replay and get it. And if you actually did it over and over again and not like me miss it, it can make big changes for you. And so you can get it at www.ralphhavens.com/free miracle session. ralphhavens.com/free miracle session. It's the biggest thing I can give you. Now, there's a lot of other stuff I have, there's a lot of other stuff I have, and a lot of stuff that goes into healing and all sorts of things that we look at, from nutrition to mindset to physical things to making money to all sorts of stuff. But right now I'm talking about this one thing that if you really dial it in, what happens is you can have access to information, because there's a way to use a question or a desire or even a regret, and then to go inside you and clear whatever that is that it brings up. And when that happens, massive change. I'm a product of the product, because we've had a very difficult time since before Ben was born, and we had to go through a lot. And if I would have known this then, it could have made a big difference. Now, the other thing that I realized was people meeting with me once a month, that's one thing. It's one thing, but it's really good to have the training. So if somebody's with me one-on-one, we go very deep into it and I don't let it go. And I keep people on it and I keep people tucked into it so that their mind doesn't take them away from it, because their mind will try to take them away from it because it's the destruction of the ego. So there's a way to keep on it. And so what I did was I created a bunch of videos and put them all together, and it's Abundance Awakening Mastery Module. And it's a bunch of training and a bunch of energetic sessions that walk you through it so you can get it in many different ways and use it in many different ways, whether it's a regret or a desire or a question for the universe or deep pain that you're having, spiritual pain, mental, emotional pain, physical pain. There's a way to use all of that with this one process, this one technique. And so that's at www.abundanceawakeningmastery, www.ralphhavens.com/abundance awakening mastery. And I've got it in the description because I want you to be able to get it. And it's not much money. It's only 27 bucks. But if you actually did it, it would do wonders for you. So that's the training, and you can go through it and just have it and do it and do it and do it and just do it for 100 days in a row and make it yours. It doesn't do any good if it's just on your desktop. That's why I charge a little bit of money to spur you on, to get you to do it. And then if you want to do it live every month, that's at the www.ralphhavens.com/free miracle session. And you get the first session for free. And this month, it's today at 12 noon if you're watching live. So I had to get this to you before I go for a run because it's giant. It's giant. And let's get out there and live. Let's really live. I hope to see you on the call. All right, you guys. Bye.